The thing that's unique about the Cancer Genome Atlas database is the comprehensive nature with which large numbers of cancers are being analyzed. In order to really find the recurrent abnormalities that we think are going to be important in the management of the disease, you have to have very high quality data, you have to have clinically annotated data, and you have to have large numbers of cancers that have been analyzed. And I think that the Cancer Genome Atlas project is accumulating a collection of data that meet all of those criteria.
Let me try to explain why we need computers and software and mathematics in cancer research. Imagine weather prediction. You have to have lots and lots of data to be able to predict the weather, the next day, the next week. But it's not enough to just have lots of data collected. You have to have some kind of computational way of going from all this massive data, all the temperatures and the wind and the moisture, and predict what the weather is going to be tomorrow, next week, perhaps a month from now. And to collect all that data, you have to put into the databases, you have to perform computations, analysis on it. In the end, you're going to kind of come up with a prediction.
I think that the TCGA project is going to stimulate a revolution in the way that we think about cancer. What we tend to think of now is that cancers are the result of mutations or abnormalities in a few genes. And in fact, that's probably not the way they work. What we have is an evolving ecosystem where the many genes are involved. The important genes change over time. They change with response to therapy. And so I think that what we're looking for is to understand which of the abnormalities in these cancers are really important in those contexts. This is going to take people who have the ability to manipulate large amounts of data, that have the ability to understand what the important biological problems are, and the ability to marry tools such as computational biology, cell biology, and high-throughput genomic analysis. It's going to be a new field in the future of what I would call cancer systems biology, and we're really just at the beginning of that process.
So if we look back even as recently as 10 years, probably only a few % of scientists would be familiar with DNA databases, how to do DNA searches, how to use the DNA information that the Human Genome Project had put forward. And so there was a distance between that group and those who would do what we would call regular cancer research. And what this project is doing is it's opening the door to that world.
With this wealth of data and the tools that are being developed by other members of the research team, individual oncologists who treat individual patients will soon be able to go to the data resource and look up their individual gene or pathway of interest or an area in which they're working on.
What we're hoping that the scientific community will do is to take the data set, divide it up into bite-sized pieces, and to, as a community, help us understand what are the important genes, what are the unimportant genes, and how to use this information to improve the management of cancers.